to record. So please note, at the end of each class, you'll be getting the replay of that particular class. So what we're going to talk about today is the course outline, the syllabus, everything you are going to be learning in the class. I've dropped the course outline in the group, so you can go through it. So let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. All right. That's good. That's good. Okay. So this is the data analysis class sponsored by Digital World Tech Academy, right? And in today's class, this is just like intro to everything we are going to learn in this class. That's what we want to talk about. Introduction to everything we learn in this class. So we'll talk about it. Data analysis, that is a certified program. So after you are done with the course, you are going to get a certificate. So I need you to pay 100% attention in class whenever you are in class. So let's start. You can read a little bit about Digital World, right? You can read a little bit about them, about the institute. You can read a little bit about it. This is the course outline. It's still the same thing that I dropped in the group. So you can read. So we've trained over 10 countries, not just in one countries. We have students in Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Kenya. We have Tanzania. We have what is it called? We have Canada. We have Netherlands. We also have what is the name of this place? China. Yes, we have students in China and different other countries too, not just only in Nigeria. So we offer training across all the country. And we've trained online alone. We've trained over 13,000 students, right? Over 13,000 students, both online and offline. And we also take internship. We have given about over 1,500 internship. Over 1,500 internship, right? We've done that right here. All right. And you can just read about them, about us right here. Value of our certificate is globally recognized and everything. And if you scroll down, you will see some pictures of us in class, right? These some of our classes, right? You see them right here. We talk about everything. And the course overview is right here. The course overview, everything is right here. So you can read about them right here. You can read about everything, the objective and everything right here. So we are going to start tomorrow. We are going to start properly introduction to data analysis. That's actually the theory aspect of data analysis. That's the only theory aspect we are going to take. Apart from this theory, we are also going to take the theory aspect of introduction to Microsoft Excel, because I said we are going to start from the total basics of Microsoft Excel. So we are going from, in our next class, we are going to start introduction to data analysis. That is tomorrow, and you take your assignment there tomorrow. Then after that, so we are going to talk about data analysis overview, importance of data analysis, types of data analysis, benefit of data analysis processes. We are going to talk about all this one in tomorrow's class, right? We are going to talk about it. So tomorrow we are focusing more on theory, everything you need to know about data analysis, the software you have to use, right? We are going to talk about all those one in tomorrow's class, right? Everything in the theory aspects. And once if you've gotten access to the LMS, you can watch the video there. You can watch the very first video on the LMS, which is Introduction to Data Analysis, just to study ahead of the class, right? You can go through them. You can go through that. It's like an hour, right? Introduction to Data Analysis. You can go through it in the LMS. If you have access to the LMS, you can just go through it, right? Then after that, maybe at the end of the class, I'm going to show you how to access the LMS. So we are going to start from the total basics of Excel. After the introduction, we'll move directly into Microsoft Excel. So we move directly into Microsoft Excel. We are going to talk about introduction to Microsoft Excel Windows, everything you need to know about Microsoft Excel Windows. This is where the practical will start. So we'll talk about Microsoft Excel Windows, the workbook, how to create and save workbook. We are going to talk about it because I said we are going to start from the total basics of Microsoft Excel, right? Total basics of Microsoft Excel. Please, when we get to the question and answer section, I'm going to answer all your questions. So total basics of Microsoft Excel, that's where we are going to start from. So we are going to talk about Microsoft Excel window, the workbook, right? Introduction to workbook, how to identify the workbook, how to reference the cell. We are going to talk about it. Correcting the content of a cell. This is data entry, right? How to correct the content of the cell, changing the columns and row bits, inserting rows and columns, right? Inserting worksheets, that is how to add a new worksheet. We are going to talk about it. Deleting rows and columns, we are going to talk about it. Deleting worksheets, how to hide and unhide rows, columns, and worksheets, how you can hide and unhide it, right? How to merge a cell, merging of cell, how to merge it. Copying and pasting, how you can copy using shortcuts, right? Or using the ribbons. We are going to talk about it one by one. Then how to freeze and unfreeze pane in Microsoft Excel, how to log and unlock worksheets. We are going to talk about that. How to rename worksheets, right? Excuse, we are not able to see what you are reading. Are you serious? Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. All right, Mr. Adam, I think it's your network. So, how to rename worksheets, typing, that is doing data entry in Excel, how to type in Excel, how to use the backspace, how to use the delete. We are going to talk about it. Understanding the cell reference. So how to understand the cell reference, we are going to talk about it in class. Someone said I should zoom in a little bit. What about now? Can you see it? Is it okay? If you are not cool, let me know. Okay, it's fine. Can you see it now? It's still in your group also. At the end of the class, you can still go through it, right? You can still go through it, but I just zoom in a bit now. Let me still try to zoom in more. So I've been able to zoom in very well now. So after you are done with the introduction to Excel, knowing everything, how to work with Excel, how to do data entry in Excel, then we are going to start with our very first formulas. We are going to go into formulas. Like, I'm not taking question now. Please drop your hand. Just jot down your question. Once we are done, right, I'm going to answer all your questions. So we'll have a question and answer section. Do you understand? So just jot down your question. When we get to the question and answer section, I'm going to answer all your questions. So we've not started practical. So now the next thing is we are going to talk about the aggregate functions. We are going to talk about it. So under aggregate function, we are going to make use of addition, right? Subtraction, multiplication, division, right? We are going to talk about that. We are also going to move. Please use English if you don't want me to remove you from this class. Please type in English, please. All right, then we are going to talk about sum, how to sum something, how to sum up 2 or 3 cells, more than 3 cells. We are going to talk about it. The product, sum product, we are going to talk about that. Then we'll move forward to the next thing, which is count A, count blank, how to make use of it. We are going to talk about it. Max, that is we use this formula to get the maximum, right? To get the maximum. We use this to get the minimum. So all this one, you are going to meet Mr. AK. Mr. AK will be the one that will take you all this one from next week's Friday. You are going to be meeting Mr. AK, but I will take you the introduction tomorrow, introduction to data analysis. I'm going to take you that tomorrow. So after my tomorrow's class, you are going to be meeting Mr. AK. Mr. AK is the one that will be taking you all these functions, right? Mr. Eke will be the one that will be taking you in all those functions, all those formulas. Then, after you are done with the aggregate function, we are going to move into something that we call logical function. Logical function. Logical function. So under logical function, we are going to talk about the if. We are going to talk about the if function, the nested if function, the ifs functions. We are going to talk about it. Absolute cell reference, relative cell reference, mixed cell reference. We are going to talk about it under the logical function. Under the logical function, we are going to talk about that. So how we can use the if function to create a logic. If something is greater than something, what should happen, right? How you can use nested if to deal with grading, to deal with assigning value, grouping values. We are going to use this under nested if. And nested if and ifs, they are the same thing, but there's just a bit difference there, just small difference. So we are going to tell you that in class. So till here, you are still going to be meeting Mr. AK. Mr. AK is the one that will take you through this journey. Then after that, you go into statistical function. Statistical function. So under statistical function, we are going to talk about how to use the count if function, the count ifs function, the sum if function, sum ifs function, average if, average ifs, right? The PMT, we are going to talk about it, standard deviation, variance, sequence. So now, we are going to talk about that. Now, if you are using the lower version of Excel, the reason why we are not going to start tomorrow is because we want to give you more time to install a good Excel, right? So if you are using the lower version of Excel, you are not going to have access to what we call this sequence function. The PMT also, yeah, the PMT is in 2016. You can use it if you are using 2016. But you can't use sequence in 2016 or 2019. So you won't have access to what we call the sequence function, right? So if you are using the lower version. So from now till next week, try to install the latest version of Excel. If you don't get 2021, try to get 365. So you can install either 2016 or 365. You can take it to any software engineer to install it for you. So they will just charge you a token to do the installation for you. But if you can't do it, if you don't have any software engineer that can do it for you, Mr. Eke will tell you how to do the installation also. He's going to tell you how you can get someone that can install it for you. He's going to tell you in class next week. That is if you cannot get it within this week. Within next week, that is from Monday till Friday. If you cannot get it installed, Mr. Eke will tell you on Friday how to install it. Do you understand? So they are both okay. Is either you use 2021 or you use 365. They are both okay, right? They are both okay. But 365 is the latest version for now. So if you want, for me, I use 365. All our lecturers uses 365. They use 365, Microsoft Office 365. That's what all our lecturers are using, which is the latest version. The latest version. So if you cannot get access to the latest version, try to get 2021 so that you have access. It's not only sequence. We are still going to talk about more formulas that you won't have access to if you are using the lower version. But you can still start. If you have 2016, you can still start with it. So after this function, after we are done with the statistical function, we are going to move forward to what we call the lookup function. The lookup function. So in the lookup function, we are going to talk about the conditional formatting. how to use the conditional formatting, how to use the sort, right? Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We are not starting the practical now. I'm just telling you what you are going to learn. So we will be doing it in class with you together. Do you understand? So just don't worry. I will show you how to get the formulas and everything. Do you understand? Just calm down. I'm just telling you what you are going to learn. So now, after that, after the statistical function, we'll come into the lookup function, where we are going to talk about the conditional formatting, sort and filter, how to sort, right? How to use the sort function, how to use the filter, We have three types of filter: the date filter, the number filter, and the text filter. We are going to talk about the three under lookup function. Then we'll talk about VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP also. We talk about HLOOKUP. We talk about XLOOKUP. Now, this XLOOKUP, if you don't have the latest Microsoft Excel, like 2021 or 365, you won't have access to XLOOKUP. You won't have access to XLOOKUP. Then after XLOOKUP, we'll go into what we call index and match. Index and match. We talk about index and match. We'll also talk about unique, how to use the unique function. We'll talk about it. How to use the unique function. We'll talk about it. Yeah, if you have 2024, it's also good. Now, after the lookup function, we'll go into what we call the date function. The date function, where we are going to talk about today, now, e-date, EO month, dates, right? We'll talk about them. Then after that, we'll talk about the day, the month, the work day, INTL, network day, INTL, the weekday, the days, and year. We are going to talk about that. So we use this in time series dataset when we are trying to see trends in time, right? So we use it in time series. So you need to have a good understanding of that one, right? So after that, we'll move function to what we call the text function. The text function. So inside the text function, we'll cover concat, which we call concatenate. We'll cover it. The text itself, len. We'll talk about len. We talk about the mid, right, which we use to extract. So if you use len, we use len to extract the length of a data, the length of a text. So like if I have, let me just open my Excel now. So let me open my Excel. So let me, in a cell, I'm coming. So in a cell, let's say I type in Akim Abiodun. So Akim Abiodun, I just type it in a cell like this. So if I want to get the length of this text, if I want to get the length, how many alphabets do I have here? Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then space 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, we have 13. But it's so easy to deal with in just one column, in just one cell. But in a situation whereby you have 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows you are dealing with, 5,000 rows, 20,000 rows, 100,000 rows, you can't be counting it one by one. So we are going to use what we call the len to get the length of an alphabet, that is of a text in a cell. We use len function. We have the mid function. We have the right function. We have the left function, right? We have the trim function. We have the lower function, the upper function, the proper function, right? The text before function. Now, if you are using the lower version, you won't have access to the text before, text after, text join. You won't have access to that. You won't have access to that if you are using the lower version. Text split and substitute, you won't have access to it also if you are using the lower version of Microsoft Excel. So let's scroll down and see the next thing. So after that, we are going to talk about text to column, flash fill, how we can use those to split our data. We are going to talk about that one in class. Then after that, let's scroll down. We are going to talk about forecast. how you can use Microsoft Excel to forecast. That is predictive analysis. How you can use Microsoft Excel to forecast. So we are going to talk about what if analysis and also forecast sheets. So we are going to talk about what if analysis and also forecast sheets. So Mr. Eke will be the one. So there are two people. You meet Mr. Eke and Ms. Zainab on the formulas. So they are the two people that will take you in the all the formulas. That is, this is more than 50 formulas that you are going to learn. So there are just two people that will take you all the formulas. So you will meet Mr. Eke and you will meet Ms. Zainab. They are the one that will take you all the formulas, right? All the formulas. Now, after the formulas, you are going to go into data visualization. So you will meet Mr. Jide that will take you in data visualization. How to visualize data. How you can visualize large data, right? You are going to meet Mr. Jide, and sometimes you can also meet me in class. There are days whereby I just said, okay, I want to take class, right? So I can just come and I can take any part. So don't be surprised if you just come to class and you meet me, right? I can decide to just say, okay, I want to take a class today. But basically, I'm not the only one that will take you all through. And you won't be seeing me every single time because I focus more on data science, right? So we have a whole lot of lecturers that will take you in data analysis, but you can also come to class and meet me. And feel free, whenever you have any issue with any of the formulas, you can always reach out to the lecturers, and you can also come to me directly. You can come to me directly. You can reach out to me directly. If you send me a DM and I did not respond, feel free to give me a call. Feel free to give me a call. There are days whereby I will be in class, so I might not be able to attend to you on WhatsApp, right? So, but if you give me a call, if I don't pick it, my PA will pick it. So once after my class, I can get back to you and answer all your questions. So if you message your lecturer, probably your lecturer might be in another class, might be busy, right? Then come directly to me. You can send me a DM, ask me any question at all, whether in Excel or in Power Query or in Power BI or SQL, right? Just come to me directly. So if you message your lecturer and they did not respond to you, probably they are busy with other classes, feel free to reach out to me. You can call me on WhatsApp. You can call me on WhatsApp. Yes, you can use this Microsoft LTS 2021. It's fine. You can go ahead with that. All right. So like I said, you are going to meet Mr. Jide that will be taking you visualization in Microsoft Excel. Mr. Jide will be the one that will take you visualization, whereby we are going to talk about all the charts one by one in Excel. All the charts one by one, everything. But in our data visualization, you are going to start with table. How you can create table. How to create a table, rename your table, right? Table headers, replacing column letters, right? Propagation of formula in a table. Now, once you are dealing with your formulas, you are not going to be using it inside the table, right? But the moment you get into data visualization, you are going to be taught, you are going to learn how to propagate, that is how to use your formula in a table, right? How to use your formula in a table. You are going to also learn the function of table. You are going to do some theory also when you get to table, right? You are going to talk about tables, how to resize table, how to remove duplicates. This is one aspect of data cleaning, right? How to remove duplicates. We are going to talk about it in tables, how to convert data to range, table style option, that is different style of tables you are going to use, right? Shapes. If you notice, we did something like in shapes when in the webinar, right? We did shapes, but we did not really spend too much of time with shapes, right? So we are going to go in depth with shapes, right? So Mr. Jide will take you shapes very well. Then we are going to start creating a dashboard template. How you can create a dashboard template. We are going to talk about it. Mr. Jide will take you, and sometimes you can meet me also in class. So we are going to talk about pivot table, how to use pivot table, when to use pivot table. We are going to talk about it, specifying a pivot table data. specifying a pivot table data, changing a pivot table calculation. So some people is only sum they can only use with pivot table. So you are going to learn how to use average, how to use standard deviation. That is how to use all the formulas you've learned. Also, how to use it in your visualizations. You're also going to learn it in data visualization. How you can filter and sort in pivot table, right? Creating a pivot table chart. So this one is like 2 classes where you are going to talk about all the charts, when to use each of these charts. Because as an analyst, you should know that you are not supposed to use all the charts at the same time. There are some type of charts that you need to use when you are analyzing data. Like if you want to show a trend now, we tend to use more of a line chart to show the trend, right? So to use column chart, grouping item, we tend to use cluster column charts, right? So when to use each of these charts, how to use map, how to use tree map, right? How to use waterfall, right? How to use a funnel chart. We are going to talk about each of those charts one by one, when to use it and how to use it, so that you have good understanding. So we are not just an analyst. So we don't just train, we are training professionals, right? So that you can know that, okay, this visualization that I want to create, this is the type of chart that will work well for it. This is the type of chart that will be easier for people to understand. It's not just about choosing any type of chart. You understand? If you see some analysts, they will just put any type of chart. Like there was a lady that came for an interview in our office, and we gave her a project, right, to do, right? And she came for an interview as a data analyst, right? And we gave her a project to do, right? She did it and she just used different type of charts, which doesn't even make sense. So like that type of person, I can't employ her, right? Because she does not have a good understanding of when to use charts and when not to use this chart. You understand? So that is what we are going to talk about in this place, creating a pivot chart, right? We are going to be talking about each of them one by one, when to use them, how to use it. Grouping item, how you can group items together in pivot table. We are going to talk about them. Then after that, updating a pivot table, formatting a pivot table, using of slicers and timeline. We are going to talk about it right here. All these are still in Excel. Then we still talk about charts here, different type of charts. So here, up here, if you check up here, we are going to talk about pivot charts, right? So we have pivot charts and we have charts on its own. We have charts on its own. So if I come here and go to insert, you can see we have all these charts right here. So we are going to be talking about them one by one, one by one. We have all these charts right here. You can see charts. We are going to be talking about them one by one. How to use a scatter chart, how to use a pie chart, how to use a line chart, how to use a column chart, a tree map, right? A statistical chart, different type of charts, waterfall, two charts together, different type of charts. We are going to talk about, and if you check here, we have what we call the pivot charts, right? We have what we call the pivot chart also. So we are going to talk about each of them, right? Then how to create the 2 types of dashboard, which are static dashboard and also interactive dashboard. Static dashboard and also interactive dashboard. How to use both of them. We are going to talk about them right in class. How to use static dashboard and interactive dashboard. So at the end, this is where we are going to stop in Excel. This is where you are going to stop in Excel. So at this point, you are going to get your first project that will test your knowledge and everything that you've learned from the introduction to Excel to charts. So you are going to get your first project right here. Note, you are going to get 3 projects. These projects are what will qualify you to get our certificates. If you miss your project, if you miss any of the 3 projects, you will not get your certificates, because that is only thing that's giving us assurance. Even if you are going to write an exam, but exam is just theory, right? Is to test your theoretical knowledge, right? So that's exam. But the core part of it that will give you your certificate is your project. Is your project. Because that is when we are sure that, okay, this person is actually good, right? You are qualified for your certificate. Do you understand? So you get your very first project right here. You get your very first project after you are done with Excel. So now everything you are going to learn in Excel, you are going to be spending about 6 weeks. You are going to be spending about 6 weeks. You are going to spend 4 weeks on 3 to 4 weeks on formulas, and you are going to spend 2 weeks on visualization just in Excel. 6 weeks in Excel. 6 good weeks. And mind you, at the end of each class, you are going to be getting assignments, right? At the end of each class, you are going to be getting an assignment. So it's not that you will learn one formula today, you will not get an assignment. You will get an assignment to test your knowledge on that particular formula. On that particular formula. So at the end of each class, you will be getting an assignment. You will be getting an assignment at the end of each class. Then at the end of Excel, you are going to get a project. So you are already practicing ahead of your project. So I will advise, try to attempt your assignments. Even if you don't understand, reach out to your lecturers. If your lecturers are not there, they are not available, reach out to me directly. Give me a phone call. I'll be there to attend to you. Right? Don't worry, I can take everything from the beginning to the end. But we don't want you to just have knowledge from one person. We want you to be able to interact with other people too, to see things from different angles, right? Because each lecturer has their own unique ability, right? I have to mention it no, you don't have to be scared, but I have to mention it so that is why we always have this class, so that I'll get to explain what you are expecting, what you are actually going into. Like I said earlier in the webinar, you can't use one day to learn data analysis. You can't use one day to learn data analysis. So I have to explain everything step by step. All right. Are you guys still here with me? Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Are you getting it? So you can say I'm not playing now because I'm in class, right? I used to play, right? It's not like the webinar. Now I'm in real life class. Yes, I know. You are nursing mother, you people are working. That is why we put everything on Friday and Saturday. So you are going to be getting most of your assignments on Saturday ahead of the second week. So you have Saturday, you have Sunday, Monday till Friday, right? You have sometimes you'll be asked to submit your assignment on Thursday, sometimes on Friday, right? They are going to give you a lot of time. So you get most of your assignment on Saturday so that you submit it probably on Thursday or Friday before your next class, so that your lecturer will be able to go through the assignment and walk you through the corrections too. Do you understand? All right. After you are done, you are going to take 1 week. After Excel, you take a 1 week break to do your, you are going to take 1 week break to do your project. So you are going to spend 1 week on your project, right? So you are going, after the Excel, you take a 1 week break to work on your project and everything. So after that, you resume back to class into Power BI. So they will teach you. So in Power BI, you are going to meet 2 people also. In Excel, you met 3 people, right? You are going to meet Mr. AK, Ms. Zainab, and Mr. Jide. Those are the 3 people you are going to meet in Excel. And mind you, you can also see me in class. You can see me in any of the class. It might be in Power BI, it might be in Excel, it might be in SQL. You can see me in any of the class, right? So after that, we are going to talk about another data visualization with Power BI. So in this class, Power BI is an open source. It's a free software to use. So it's free. You can use it. So you are going to learn, you are going to start with Introduction to Power BI. Basically, all this software that we are talking about, we are starting from the total basics. Introduction to Power BI. Installation of Power BI, how to download and install Power BI. You are going to learn it also. So in this place, you are going to meet Mr. David and Mr. Jibola. Those are the two people you are going to meet in your Power BI class. So installation of Power BI, how to get data from Excel, how to get data. I'm coming, please, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. How to get data from PDF, from folder, from a website, how to get a data from TXT file or CSV file. You are going to learn about it in Power BI. Then after that, before you go in depth into Power BI, we are going to talk about data cleaning, which is the core of data analysis. Which is the core of data analysis? Power Query. That is data cleaning with Power Query. Before you can analyze any data, your data must be clean. Your data must be clean, right? So you are going to start Power Query. That is data cleaning with Power Query. So you are going to talk about introduction to Power Query, right? I'm coming. Introduction to Power Query, how to pivot and unpivot columns in Power Query, how to merge in Power Query, how to append in Power Query, splitting of data in Power Query, how to split data in Power Query. We are going to talk about that. And after splitting of data, how to change data types. So some data, their data type is not correct. So sometimes you might see numbers, right? But machine, your machine, your device is seeing it as a text, right? So you need to change your data type, right? So how to change the data types? We are going to talk about it in Power Query. Keeping and removing of rows and columns, formatting text in Power Query, dealing with number columns, dealing with date and time columns. We are going to talk about that also in Power Query. How to add column, and you are going to write your M language using invoke function. How to invoke function in Power Query. We are going to talk about that. Then after Power Query, we are now going back into Power BI fully. So you are going to start your data modeling. You are going to start your data modeling. So you either meet Mr. Jibola or Mr. David. So you are going to start with data modeling, relationships, how to create relationship between multiple data, how you can create a relationship. So we are going to talk about cross-filter direction, right? Cardinality. So if you don't understand any of this, don't worry. We are going to treat it when we get there. We are going to treat it when we get there. So don't bother yourself. Just sit down, enjoy your class, and practice. So you don't have to rush. But there is always the LMS there for you. You can always go to the LMS and study ahead of the class, right? But the class is live. So every Friday and Saturday, you have to be in class. Then after that, we are going to talk about DAX, data analysis expression. So the three ways of using DAX, which are the measures, the calculated column, right? And also the calculated table. So we are going to talk about the measures: sum X, count, distinct count, count rows, count AX, mean X, right? Max X, calculate function under the measure. Then after the measure, you are going to go into what we call the calculated column, where you are going to learn the if, nested if, related and lookup function. Then after that, you go into the table, that is date table, using calendar auto, date, today, year, month, quarter, day, right? We are going to talk about all those ones in the date table. In the date table, that is still under that. Under that. So you are going to spend 2 classes on that alone. 2 classes on that alone. So then after that, you are going to go into data visualization. Data visualization part 2, that is using Power Query. Data visualization using Power Query. So how to shape, using shapes, how to work with your shapes, the data visualization, drill through, button, bookmark, the composition tree, key influencers, we are going to talk about it. KPIs, we are going to talk about it. Multi-row card, we are going to talk about it. Page formatting. And if you see here also, we are still going to talk more about charts. You know you already have a knowledge on charts in Excel, but we are still going to talk about how to use charts in Power BI also. And also how to create a dashboard in Power BI. We are going to talk about that. Then after that, you are going to get your project again. This is going to be your second project. That's your second project, right? You are going to get second project in Power BI. That's your second project. So you take another 1 week break to complete your project. Then after you are done with your project, you will resume in SQL. You are going to resume in SQL, which we call the structured query language. The structured query language. We are going to talk about that. Then we'll talk about introduction to SQL, how to download my SQL, right? So I'm going to talk about that. SQL installation, how to install SQL. We are going to talk about that. How to download and install my SQL workbench, right? We are going to talk about that. That is how to download and install my SQL workbench, because we are going to be using workbench in SQL. Then after that, here you are going to meet, in SQL, you are just going to meet one person, which is Miss Victoria. So you can also meet me in SQL, like I said. So it's individual. It's individual, not group. The project is going to be individual, not group. You should know that. Then you are going to talk about basic SQL data type. Basic SQL data type. How to create table in SQL. How to preview your table. How to delete a table. How to preview a data in a table. How to import a data. How to delete a row in a table. Filtering a table, right? Foreign key. We are going to talk about that. Then after that, we are going to start using functions also in MySQL. Sum function, the count function, the average function, the distinct count function, the standard deviation, the variance. We are going to use all those ones also in MySQL, right? Then after that, we are going to talk about data cleaning. Data cleaning with SQL. This is the second aspect of data cleaning. So you can use Power BI to clean, you can use Power Query to clean data, and also you can use SQL to clean data. So under that, we are going to talk about string to date, timestamp, if null, qualis, replace, right, length, trim, round. We are going to talk about that. Locate, left, right, mid, concat, upper, lower, right? We are going to talk about all those one. We are going to talk about all those one. Then we are going to talk about the window function, right? Then after the window function, we are going to talk about joins in SQL. We are going to talk about joins in SQL. Full join, inner join, and left join, right join. So those are the 4 types of join. You have the right join, you have the left join, you have the inner join, and you have the full join. That is the full outer join. So you are going to learn all those one in MySQL. That is joins. You are going to learn union, right? You are going to learn CTE and subquery or nested query. So this is where you are going to stop in SQL. And in SQL, you are going to spend 3 good weeks in SQL before you get your final project. 3 weeks in SQL before you get your final project. So your final project is what will qualify you for your certificate. So once you are done with the 3 projects, then you are qualified to get your certificate, though you are going to write an exam, right? But it's not only dependent on the exam. Most of that for you to get your certificate, it depends more on what we call your project. So you are going to get 3 different projects. So then after that, that is all for now. So that is how we are going to split the 12 weeks. So each class is just one project. Each software is one project, but a whole lot of assignments. You are going to get a whole lot of assignments. After each class, you are going to be getting assignments. After each class, black. After each class, you are going to be getting an assignment. Like I said, the introduction to Python is a bonus. So it's right there on the LMS. Like I said you are going to get access to all my recorded videos on Python. So it's there on the LMS. You will see it there on your LMS for those that have been granted access. We can't cover SPSS with these 2 weeks. If you see now, you are going to spend 6, let's calculate it together. You are going to spend 6 weeks. So the 12 weeks that we mentioned is on average. You can spend like 13 to 14 weeks for you to cover everything. So let's calculate everything. For you to have a good understanding of Excel, you are going to spend 6 good weeks on Excel. Then on Power BI, you are going to spend 4 weeks on Power BI. That is 10 weeks. Then on SQL, you are going to spend 3 weeks. That is 13 weeks. And on the 14th week, you are going to write your exam. Right? So we will talk about SPSS later, but let's focus on this one first. Focus on this one first. What is LMS? LMS is the learning management system. Someone sent me a DM, I've forgotten her name, and that she couldn't submit the form. So I told her to send me her full name, email, and password, but she said she doesn't feel it's secure to send me the those information so that I will grant her access directly myself. So I said she should not worry, right? So if you fill the form, once you fill the form, they are going to give you access. You get your access. And make sure while filling the form, you put in your correct information. Correct information. So like I said, Python, I said you are going to get all my recorded video. Python is a bonus. We can't cover Python with 12 weeks. It's not possible. Just Python Essential alone, right? You can't cover it with everything you are going to learn in 12 weeks. You can't cover everything that we are talking about with Python in 12 weeks. It's not possible. It's not possible, right? It's not possible. SPSS, we are not covering it now. I train SPSS in statistical analysis. SPSS, STATA, and SAS, right? Those are the 3 things we train in statistical analysis. But focus on this one first, right? Focus on this one first. So I know you just want to learn everything, but it's not as easy as you think. So focus on learning this one and master it first. So now, for the LMS, the portfolio, you can go through it in your LMS. It's also a bonus. Let me open my own LMS. I'm coming. Let me open my own LMS. I'm coming. So I have the mail here. Loading it up. So all you just have to do is in your mail, search for data analysis, search for digital word, or you search for data analysis, data analysis receipts, right? You'll see it right there. So once you see something that looks like this, right? So you see your login details here, your email and your password, you see it right here. So all you just have to do is click on study data analysis. So you click on study data analysis. And the login detail that is here, your email and your password, that is what you are going to use to log in. That's what you are going to use to log in. So like someone said, check your spam. So some people are going to see it in their spam box. Some people are going to see it in their spam box. So then after that, you are going to click on login. So you log into this place, right? You log into this place, but for you, you are going to have one, right? You are going to have just one right here. So I'll just log in. I'll just log in. Then after that, all I just have to do is click on study, right? Just click on study. So like I said, you can go through this. So this is what we are going to cover tomorrow. Introduction to data analysis. Data analytics masterclass. In today's masterclass, what we are going to focus on, that is the basic. So we are going to talk about. So we are going to talk about this one, right, tomorrow. So you can go through it, your elements. So let me just scroll down to the bonus. I'm coming. You guys should just give me a bit of time. So let's scroll down to the bonus. So if you see the bonus, the link in your mail is not opening. Please check your network. I can't send, you need to gain access. It's not something that will send you a link. You have to log into the LMS. So once you have your email, you can check your email, right? So you are going to see the details right there in your mail, right? You are going to see the details right there. So just go to digitalworldtech.academy, right? digitalworldtech.academy, digitalworldtech.academy, digitalworldtech.academy. So once you get to this website, right? Once you get to this website, to our website, Digital World Tech Academy, then all you just have to do is click on student login. So you'll already have your login details, right? Your email and your password. So all you just have to do is click on student login. So you just log in right here. So you log into your LMS directly. So once you receive the mail, you see all the login, the information right there. So just log in to it. Now back down here, you can see I have bonuses. You can watch a video. You can watch the video on how to create a portfolio, how to upload a project on your portfolio. So after you get your project, you can go ahead and upload it on your portfolio, right? How to create a resume with Canva, LinkedIn optimization, freelancing. They are all here. And the Python essential is also right here. It's also right here. We stop at control flow. Control flow, that is using if, elif, and else. That is the bonus. Right? You are going to see it right here. You are going to see your own right here. So once you receive the mail, just scroll down. Just scroll down. Just scroll down. You are going to receive it right here. You are going to receive it right here. So I didn't see it in my mail, so I have to go to the website. If you are among of this, you gain access after. So yeah, you can input your email and your password, so you log in. So once you log in, then you have access to all this. So all of them are right here. Introduction to Python. So you feel. So let me. Okay, so let's get started. Can you all see my screen? I'm back now. Everything together. So you can see this Python essential. Jupyter. This Python essential. And these are. So take a question later. Is that fine? So you see how fast it loads. But some people will tell you to. So you can see this is on Python essential. This is on Python essential. But we can't cover all the Python essential within the 12 weeks. So that's why it's a bonus. All right. So now for the software you have to install, don't worry, the only software you have to install is Microsoft Excel. And is Microsoft, check your mail. Once you fill the registration form, you are going to receive a mail. You are going to receive a mail. You are going to receive a mail that looks like this. So once you fill your registration form, if you fill the correct thing in your registration form, you should have this in your mail by now. Just check your mail, check your inbox, right? Check your inbox, check your spam, check everything. You should have it once you fill the correct information. I think everybody that filled it, everybody that filled the registration form has gotten their mail. Mr. Emeka, send me a DM. You are already in our data science class. So send me a DM, Mr. Emeka. I'll do that for you. Just send me your full name, email, and full name, email, and your phone number. I will give you access. All right, so you just log in. Now, for the software you will need for this class is just Microsoft Excel. Like I said, Power BI is an open source. Power BI is an open source. Is an open source. Do you understand? Is an open source. So you will learn how to download and install it in class. Don't worry yourself about that. SQL, you will learn how to download and install it too in SQL. So don't worry yourself about that. The only thing that you need is Excel. And if you can't get it installed within next week, don't worry. Mr. AK will also tell you how to install, how you can install it, how to go with the installation process. So they are just going to charge you a token because Excel is not a free software to use. It's not a free software. So you have to pay for it. So Mr. AK will tell you how to go about it. How to go about it in class. That is, but if you don't want to wait, you can take it to any software engineer that you want to install it. So make sure that once they finish the installation, let me close my Excel. So once they finish your installation, so you open the Excel, then go to accounts. Go to accounts. So you are going to see the version of Excel that was installed for you. Maybe it's Excel 365 or 2021. You are going to see it right here. So if it is 365, you will see it like you see my own subscription for me. I pay for my own every month. So subscription product for Akim at Mark Odiola, that is another name, on Microsoft.com. That's my own. And you can see that I have Microsoft Office 365, right? Microsoft Office 365. And the product is activated. So if it is 2021 that was installed, that is installed for you, you are going to see it right here. And you also see product activated. So if the product is not activated, you can't use it for more than 7 days. So the reason why they pay for Microsoft Excel is for you to have direct access to it, right? So if your product is not activated, you can't use it for more than 7 days. You can't use it for more than 7 days. Do you understand? So you can take it to any software engineer. In Nigeria, it's just like 5,000 or 10,000 to do the installation. Just take it to any software. But if you are not, I'm coming. I'm not the one, but there are some people that I tell that I wanted to give access to directly because they couldn't fill the form, right? They couldn't fill the form. So I told them to send me their email, their full name, and their phone number, right? So that I'll be able to give them access. But probably if you are yet to get access, I'm going to create a new form and send it to your group so you can fill the form so that I'll tell the admin to give you access tomorrow. And latest by tomorrow or Sunday, you get it. Just give me some time. Now, like I said, if you don't see product activated, right, you can't use that formula, you can't use that Microsoft for more than 7 days. So your product must be activated before you can use it. All right. So that is that on just Microsoft Excel, just Microsoft Excel. Yes, if you are using 2021, it's fine. It's fine. If you are using 2021, it's fine. If you are using 2024, it's fine. If you are using 365, it's fine. It's fine. Any of those ones are fine. But if you are using 2016, you can start with it, but I will advise you to update it, because by the time you are getting into advanced formula like sequence, XLOOKUP, unique, text split, text join, right? You won't have access to all those. 2019, I did not use 2019 because I moved from 2016 to 2021 and 365. So 2019, based on what I've heard, it does not have XLOOKUP. 2019 does not have XLOOKUP. So it's only 2021 that has XLOOKUP. But you can start with it. You can start with it. You can start with it. And I'll just advise you to update it later. You understand? How do we update? You can take it to any software engineer to install it for you. But if you don't know any, just wait. Mr. AK will tell you how to go about it in class. On Thursday, I don't do installation. I don't do installation. So I don't know anything about installation. So I don't do installation. So they are the one that goes into installation, because I don't have time for installation. I'm always busy. So even if I want to do the installation for you, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. So you can't find Python bonus. Scroll down, you see it's there. Scroll down, there's Python bonus is there. Scroll down till the end. Is there. Python bonus is there. You are going to see bonus and Python bonus. They are there. Scroll down, you are going to see Mr. Samuel. Scroll down till the end, you are going to see it. All right. So 2019 has XLOOKUP. If it does, then you are good to go. If it does, because I did not use 2019. I did not use 2019. So I moved from 2016 to 2021, then from 2021 to 365. I did not use 2019. It's not all the version that I used. So I don't use 2019. And most of my students and all our lecturers, we are using the latest version, which is 365. All right. Most of the videos on the link isn't showing. Are you sure? Okay, maybe I'll connect with our web developer on Monday and see what we can, especially for Power BI. Wow. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I will meet with our web developer on Monday, and we are going to check it very well. We are going to check it very well. You understand? We are going to check it very well. Yes, don't worry, next week. Yes, after you learn everything, you can go for any job interview on data analysis. After you learn Excel, Power BI, SQL, you are good to go for any interview. True, Power BI and SQL are not playing. Wow, they are not. The part 2 of LinkedIn is not showing. Okay, that's probably a network glitch with our server. I'm going to contact our web developer so that we are going to sort it. Time and days we are having class is every Friday and Saturday, same time, 8:30 to 10 Nigerian time, 7:30 to 9 Ghanaian time. Cameroonian time is also 8:30 to 10. Kenya time, we are still working on changing their time. We are still working, but for now, it's still 10:30 to 12. But we are working on changing Kenya time. All right. So any other question? No password sent to my mail. You can send me a DM, please. Send me a DM. If you want to send me a DM with your full name, email, and phone number. Send me a DM. UAE, 11:30. I don't even know that we have UAE students here. 11:30 p.m. Wow. Okay. Send me a DM with your full name, email, and password with your payment proof. I'm going to see what I'll do. You can't see Python. Is my course in yellow cap? I don't understand. I'm coming. Oh. This, once you click on study, right? Once you click on study, right? Once you click on study, scroll down till the end. Is there. I'm very, very sure of that. It's right there. It's here. Right? It's here. It's here. Check it. is there. It's fully there and very active. Thank you. Python bonus is there. Is there. Check it. Yes, data science is a 5 month program. I'm the one that take that one myself. And Mr. Emeka is right in our data science class. He knows. It's a 5 month program. It's not something you can do together in 12 weeks. It's not possible. So data science is a 5 month program. So you can register for that. But for now, you can't register for data science because we have an ongoing batch. And you can't join them. They have gone far in Python Essential. So you can't join them. You can't join them now. You have to wait for the next batch. Right? Kindly suggest community. Don't worry. After the program, we are going to talk about communities you can join. Videos, YouTube videos that you can watch. We are going to talk about all those ones too after that. After the class. All right. Is there any other question that I'm yet to answer? Is there any other question that I'm yet to answer? Is there any other question? 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 Is there any other question that I'm yet to answer? Is there any other question? Internship. Okay, Princess Match, I have not seen your question. Internship. Don't worry. We are going to tell you about internship. We will drop it in your group once we have a request for internship. And if you are closer to the location of the company, you can go for the internship. Sure, all our lecturers are very good. They are very, very good. They are going to break everything down step by step. They are going to break it down step by step. Dada, what is your question? So remote job, that is what we thought, that is what we talk about. That is what we talked about in this freelancing. That is what we talk about in this freelancing. How to get a remote job. We talk about it in this freelancing. So we can go into that. So once you have a 4 gig, how can you download the latest Excel? Mr. Eke will tell you that. I don't do installation, like I said. Just take your laptop to any computer engineer. They will do the installation for you. Is it a paid internship? It depends on the company. We have some companies that pay their internship, right? And we have some that does not pay. They don't pay. So it depends on your location. It depends on your location, right? The part 2 of the LinkedIn optimization is not showing. I'm going to check it. I use Apple MacBook. Yes, you are good to go. You can do the installation on it. All right. Is there any, so someone said which type of laptop is good for this class? Once you can get a 4 gig RAM, 5Ds, 4 gig RAM, whether 250 or 500 ROM is good, right? So any laptop of 4 gig RAM, 500 SSD or 250 SSD is good to go. So you can use any of this laptop. Yes, you can use your company's account if you have access to it too. You can use your company's account. Do you have students that get internship? Yes, we do. Like I said, if you check our course outline, we also take students as internship too. We also take students as an intern too. Yes, I will talk with our web developer Monday on that. Dada, please send me a DM with your full name, email, and password, then your payment proof. Yes, you can. Yes, the classes are always recorded. I said it in the webinar. I'm recording now. Even if you miss a class, you can always go over the class. After the class, we have access to more exercises. Yes, that's what I said. After each class, you are going to be getting an assignment. No. That's not my WhatsApp line. It does the one that ends with 3003 is no more on WhatsApp. The new number, check it in the WhatsApp group, is 234-9116142614. This is my new number. I'm trying to drop it. So that's my new number. Yes, SPSS is just like that, but we use SPSS in statistical analysis. We use SPSS in statistical analysis. All right, let me stop recording because we are in the question and answer section. I don't want this recording to be too